So last week I had a meeting with maternal fetal medicine, which is like a high risk meeting to discuss his low birth weight and preterm delivery. And so, like, technically he was only a few days preterm, but he was significantly smaller. So that's really what a bigger issue was. And it's hard to tell if it was something like related to like hormone production in my body, or if it was because of the fibroids that I had that were very large. Regardless, I did have hypertension during labor, and it was only during labor, and so the doctor I spoke with, which was absolutely fabulous, said that there's probably nothing we need to do for that, which is fine. I mean, I just want to do anything that I can to, reduce the chance of that happening again, all of that. And she did say, though, that I'm a candidate for progesterone, and I could start it as early as 16 weeks, and I think you take it all the way to 36 weeks, which is like a really long time. Yeah, so it used to be injections, and now it's a pill that's inserted vaginally, which I guess, in the end is a lot easier, because then you're not coming into the clinic weekly and it's not as painful and things like that. So I'll be doing that. I just picked up that prescription. And then I'm going to have some transvaginal ultrasounds starting at 16 weeks to check cervical length, to see if that had any effect on his early arrival. And then chances are that there won't be any changes. That will be every other week for about 4 weeks. And if there are no changes, then that's not something we need to consider. But if there are changes and the cervix length is getting shorter, then they can put in a stitch to hopefully help keep him. Like, I know if it's a boy or girl. I have no idea if it's a boy or girl. Keep the baby in longer. So I am 15 and almost a half weeks. So next week, we'll go in for that first transvaginal ultrasound. And at that point, we'll get to see baby again, too, which is fun. So I'm just hoping that they don't find anything, that is worth noting. I have one more blood draw for the sequential screen, which detects, like, trisomy 13 and Down syndrome, and I think one other genetic disorder. My first ultrasound and blood scan, I guess, I don't know, came back normal, but you don't really know the whole picture until you get the second blood draw. So we'll know more of that later. So I think the meeting with maternal fetal medicine was really good. I had a positive experience with that. I feel like taking the progesterone will be beneficial, so I will stick with that. So yeah, at this point, we've told our family. I've told Emily and the boys, Lynn, Cammie, been jogging with her. Now she knows why I'm slow. And then I plan to tell my girlfriend sometime this week. And then I think next week we'll share it with the world. But it's kind of fun to, like, slowly tell people, at least from my perspective. It feels a little more personal. And since this is the last time we'll be doing this, fingers crossed, kind of feels like a nice way to go about it. Kind of fun to keep this little one just between us for a little while, like our little secret. So, yeah, and then soon we will let the world know. So far, when you ask Cooper, he says brother more often than he says sister, but he does go in between both. So we'll see if he narrows down his thoughts or requests as it gets closer. But I'm feeling better, have more energy, still tired at night. Had to break out some maternity clothes and order some new ones because all my maternity clothes are winter. So yeah, it's like a whole new time of year to be pregnant. So I'm like, okay, I need shorts because it just started to be in the 90s after it rained for so long, and I have like a bump now. At least I'm starting to feel large. Some of my clothes still fit, but not comfortably. So yeah, big changes. So update next week after my ultrasound and appointment. And then hopefully all is smooth sailing.